This is Fluent English Journey Podcast.
From Speak English with Nora. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Fluent English Journey Podcast. I'm Nora.
And I'm Ethan. How has your day been treating you so far, Nora?
It's been wonderfully productive, thanks for asking. I actually started my morning with a completely new routine today, which got me thinking about how powerful our daily habits really are. How about you?
That's fascinating timing, because I've been experimenting with my own routine lately too. I'm feeling energized and especially excited about today's conversation. I think we're going to explore something that literally shapes every single day of our lives.
Absolutely. Today, we're diving into something that touches each and every one of us, our daily routines. These are the rhythms that keep our lives moving forward, the invisible threads that weave through our entire existence.
You put that beautifully. From the very moment we open our eyes in the morning to that final moment when we drift off to sleep at night, we follow certain patterns and habits that essentially define who we are and how we experience life.
And here's what's really interesting, Ethan. Most people think routines are boring or restrictive, but they're actually the foundation of freedom. When you have solid routines, you free up mental space for creativity and spontaneity.
That's such an insightful way to look at it. So tell me, Nora, what exactly does a typical day look like for different people around the world? Because I imagine there's incredible variety.
That's a brilliant question. Daily routines can look dramatically different depending on your lifestyle, culture, work schedule, and personal preferences. But they're all made up of those small, seemingly insignificant things we do regularly, the building blocks of our days.
Exactly. And throughout today's episode, we'll be sharing our own personal routines, from the way we ease into our mornings to how we peacefully wind down in the evening. But more than just sharing, we want to help you understand the language we use to talk about these everyday activities.
That's right. Along the way, we'll explore how having intentional routines can help you feel more balanced, centered, and in control of your life. It's all about discovering what works best for your unique situation and personality.
And here's something I find really important. Routines aren't about perfection. They're about creating a framework that supports your goals and well-being while still leaving room for flexibility and life's unexpected moments.
Before we dive deeper into our personal routines, I want to let you know that we'll be explaining vocabulary and expressions as we go. We'll speak clearly and naturally, making this perfect for English learners who want to master the language we actually use in real conversations.
And remember, these aren't just English lessons. These are life skills. Learning to talk about routines helps you connect with people, share experiences, and understand different cultures. So grab a cup of coffee or tea, get comfortable, and let's explore the beautiful rhythm of daily life.
Let's start with the foundation of every day, our morning routines. As someone who's always been passionate about personal development, my mornings are pretty structured, but in a gentle way.
I love that approach. Tell us more about what that looks like for you.
Well, I usually wake up around 7 a.m., and here's something that changed my life. Instead of immediately jumping out of bed, I take a moment to stretch and breathe deeply while still lying down. It's such a gentle way to transition from sleep to wakefulness, and it helps me feel more alert and present.
That sounds incredibly mindful. I wake up slightly earlier, around 6:30 a.m., partly because my work schedule demands it, but also because I've discovered I'm naturally more productive in those early morning hours. The very first thing I do, and I mean before I even get out of bed, is drink a full glass of water that I keep on my nightstand.
Oh, that's smart. Hydrating first thing is such a powerful habit. I do that too, right after I get up and head to the bathroom. Then I brush my teeth and wash my face with cool water. It's incredibly refreshing and really helps me feel fully awake.
Yes, that cool water on the face is like a natural wake-up call, isn't it? It really sets a positive tone for the entire day ahead. I've noticed that when I skip this simple ritual, my whole morning feels off kilter.
Exactly. After my bathroom routine, I have what I call a gentle breakfast. Usually something light but nourishing like oatmeal with fresh berries or whole grain toast with avocado. Nothing too heavy because I want sustained energy, not a sugar crash.
That's such a wise approach. Breakfast is absolutely essential for me too, but I tend to go for something with more protein. Scrambled eggs with whole grain toast, or sometimes I'll blend up a smoothie with spinach, banana, and protein powder. It keeps me satisfied and focused during busy morning meetings.
I love how different our preferences are, but we both prioritize nourishing our bodies. After breakfast, I always take a few quiet minutes to check my emails and review my to-do list. Not in a frantic way, but just to mentally prepare and know what's on the agenda for the day.
That's so important, that mental preparation. I do something similar, but I also check my class schedule since I'm still taking some professional development courses. I've learned that feeling organized before jumping into the day's activities makes everything flow so much smoother.
Absolutely. And here's something I've added recently. I spend about 5 minutes writing in a gratitude journal. Just 3 things I'm thankful for. It shifts my mindset from what do I have to do today to what opportunities do I have today.
What a beautiful addition to your routine. I do something similar, but different. I listen to a few minutes of instrumental music or nature sounds while I get dressed. It keeps me calm and centered instead of rushing into the day's chaos.
These small moments of intention really make such a difference, don't they? Having that calm, organized start to the day creates a ripple effect that influences everything that follows.
You know, Nora, we've used some really useful vocabulary while talking about our mornings. Should we pause and help our listeners understand these terms in context?
Absolutely. Let me walk everyone through some key terms from our morning conversation.
Let's start with stretch. This means to extend your body or limbs to loosen up your muscles. Nora mentioned stretching in bed to ease into the day, which is a gentle way to wake up your body.
Then we have hydrate. This means to give your body water or fluids. Ethan starts his day by hydrating with a glass of water, which is incredibly important after hours without drinking anything.
We also talked about having a light breakfast. This refers to a small, simple meal in the morning. Examples would be oatmeal, toast, or fresh fruit. The opposite would be a heavy breakfast, like a full English breakfast with eggs, bacon, and beans.
Another useful term is to-do list. This is a written or mental list of tasks you plan to complete during the day. Many successful people swear by reviewing their to-do list each morning to stay organized and focused.
And here's a newer term that's becoming popular, mindful or mindfully. This means doing something with full attention and intention, like Nora's mindful morning stretching or my practice of listening to calming music.
One more important phrase, set the tone. When we say something sets the tone for the day, we mean it influences how the rest of the day will feel or go. A rushed, chaotic morning sets a stressful tone, while a calm morning sets a peaceful tone.
Now that we've covered mornings, let's move into the heart of the day, our afternoon routines. This is typically when I'm at my peak focus and energy levels.
I completely relate to that. Afternoons are usually when I tackle my most challenging work. What does your afternoon typically look like?
Well, my afternoons are often filled with deep work sessions, whether that's writing, research, or creative projects. I've learned to work with my natural energy rhythms, so I schedule my most demanding tasks for this time when my brain is sharpest.
That's such smart self-awareness. My afternoons are usually packed with meetings, collaborative work, or intensive project development. But here's what I've discovered. No matter how busy I am, I absolutely must take strategic breaks throughout the afternoon.
Yes, those breaks are crucial. I make sure to step away from my desk every 90 minutes or so, even if it's just for a few minutes to stretch, walk around, or do some quick breathing exercises. It's amazing how much this helps keep my mind fresh and creative.
Exactly. I find that stepping away from the computer screen to stretch or grab a healthy snack really helps me recharge and maintain my productivity. Sometimes I'll even take a brief walk outside if the weather's nice. That natural light and fresh air work wonders.
And speaking of fuel, lunch is such an important part of the afternoon routine. I typically eat around 12:30, and I'm very intentional about what I choose. Usually something energizing but not too heavy, like a colorful salad with grilled chicken or a quinoa bowl with roasted vegetables.
I'm similar with timing. Lunch is usually around noon for me. I make it a point to completely step away from work during lunch. My go-to meals are things like a turkey and avocado wrap, or sometimes I'll blend up a smoothie with spinach, banana, and protein powder. It keeps me satisfied and focused during busy morning meetings.
Oh, that afternoon energy slump is so real. That's why I'm careful not to eat anything too sugary or processed at lunch. After eating, I often spend about 10 minutes to just sit quietly, maybe do some light stretching, and mentally regroup for the second half of the day.
That regrouping time is so valuable. I do something similar. I'll spend a few minutes organizing my workspace and reviewing what I want to accomplish in the remaining hours. It's like pressing a reset button for the afternoon.
Then comes my favorite part of the afternoon, tackling those bigger, more complex projects while I still have mental energy. There's something so satisfying about making significant progress on important work when you're feeling sharp and focused.
I couldn't agree more. I try to knock out my most challenging tasks during this peak energy window. Whether it's problem solving, creative work, or detailed analysis, I've learned to protect this time and use it strategically. And here's something I've started doing recently. I keep a wins journal where I quickly jot down what I accomplished each afternoon. It might sound simple, but celebrating those daily achievements really builds momentum and confidence over time.
We've covered some really useful afternoon vocabulary, haven't we? Let me break down some key terms for our listeners.
Let's start with focused. This means giving your full attention to something specific. When I say I'm focused during study sessions, I mean I'm concentrating completely on the task at hand without distractions.
Then we have recharge. This means to regain energy or refresh yourself. Just like you charge a phone battery, you can recharge your personal energy by taking breaks, eating well, or doing something enjoyable.
Another important term is regroup. This means taking a moment to organize your thoughts, assess your situation, and prepare for what comes next. It's like gathering yourself before moving forward.
We also talked about feeling sluggish. This describes feeling slow, heavy, and lacking energy. This often happens after eating a large, heavy meal, which is why we both choose lighter lunch options.
Here's a great informal expression, knock out. This means to complete tasks efficiently and effectively. When Ethan says he likes to knock out his key projects, he means he tackles them with focus and gets them done well.
And we mentioned the energy slump. This refers to that natural dip in energy that many people experience in the mid-afternoon, usually between 2 and 4 p.m. It's completely normal, but you can minimize it with good nutrition and movement.
As we move into the evening, this is really where the magic of routines becomes most apparent. Evenings are my time to unwind, reflect, and prepare for restorative sleep.
I love that perspective. After a full day of productivity and engagement, evenings become this sacred space for slowing down and reconnecting with yourself. What does your evening routine look like?
Well, after finishing work, I have what I call a transition ritual. I might take a warm shower, change into comfortable clothes, or spend a few minutes in quiet reflection. This helps me mentally shift from work mode to personal time.
That transition is so important. I do something similar. I have a specific playlist I listen to while tidying up my workspace and changing into casual clothes. It's like a signal to my brain that the workday is complete.
Dinner is usually around 7 p.m. for me, and I try to make it both nourishing and enjoyable. Maybe grilled salmon with roasted vegetables, or a hearty stir-fry with brown rice and lots of colorful vegetables. I eat slowly and mindfully, really savoring the flavors.
I appreciate that mindful approach to eating. My dinner timing is similar, and I tend to keep it simple but satisfying. Perhaps pasta with homemade marinara and a side salad, or a rice bowl with whatever vegetables I have fresh in the refrigerator.
After dinner, I always make sure to handle my evening self-care routine, brushing my teeth thoroughly, washing my face, and applying a gentle moisturizer. These small acts of self-care feel nurturing and help me prepare for rest.
Absolutely. Those evening hygiene routines are like pressing a reset button after a full day. Brushing my teeth and washing my face feels like washing away the day's stress and preparing for renewal during sleep.
Then comes my favorite part of the evening. I wind down with something peaceful and engaging. Usually, I'll read a few chapters of whatever book I'm currently enjoying, or sometimes I'll sip herbal tea while writing in my journal.
That sounds wonderfully calming. I have a similar, though I tend to listen to podcasts or audiobooks while doing gentle stretches. I'm very intentional about avoiding screens for at least an hour before bed. It makes such a difference in sleep quality.
Screen-free time is so crucial. Instead of scrolling through my phone, I might listen to soft instrumental music, practice some light meditation, or just sit quietly and reflect on the day. I aim to be in bed by 10:30 p.m. because I've learned that consistent sleep timing dramatically improves how I feel the next morning.
I'm almost identical with bedtime, around 10:30 or 11 p.m. Getting those 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep is non-negotiable for me. It's the foundation that makes all my other routines possible.
And here's something I've added recently. Before falling asleep, I practice gratitude by mentally reviewing 3 positive moments from the day. It shifts my mind away from any stress or worries and helps me drift off with a peaceful heart.
What a beautiful way to end each day. I do something similar. I spend a few minutes setting intentions for the following day, not in a stressful planning way, but more like gentle hopes for tomorrow.
Let's explore some key evening vocabulary that we've been using naturally in our conversation.
First, let's talk about unwind. This means to relax and let go of the day's tension and stress. It's like unwinding a tight coil, allowing yourself to become loose and peaceful.
Then we have the beautiful metaphor, reset button. This refers to starting fresh or returning to a calm, centered state. When Daniel mentioned brushing his teeth feels like pressing a reset button, he means it helps him feel renewed and ready for the next phase of his day.
Wind down is similar to unwind, but it specifically means to gradually slow down and prepare for sleep or rest. Think of it like slowly reducing the speed of a spinning wheel until it comes to a gentle stop.
We also mentioned herbal tea. These are caffeine-free teas made from herbs, flowers, or spices that promote relaxation. Popular examples include chamomile, peppermint, or lavender tea.
Another useful term is screen-free time. This refers to deliberately avoiding electronic devices like phones, tablets, computers, or televisions. Many sleep experts recommend screen-free time before bed because blue light can interfere with natural sleep patterns.
And let's not forget consistent. This means regular, steady, and reliable. Having a consistent bedtime means going to sleep at roughly the same time each night, which helps regulate your body's internal clock. As we wrap up today's conversation about daily routines, I'm struck by how these seemingly simple patterns really shape our entire life experience.
Exactly, Nora. We've shared our personal routines from morning to evening and explored how important it is to create balance throughout the day. But what I find most beautiful is that everyone's routine can and should look different.
That's such an important point. Whether you're working, studying, raising children, or navigating any other life situation, the key is finding routines that support your goals and well-being, not copying someone else's blueprint exactly.
And remember, routines aren't just about staying productive or organized, though those are wonderful benefits. They're also about creating moments throughout your day to relax, recharge, and take care of yourself.
I hope today's conversation has given you some helpful insights and maybe even inspired you to examine your own routines with fresh eyes. What small changes might make your days feel more balanced and intentional?
The vocabulary we've explored today, words like hydrate, recharge, unwind, and wind down, these aren't just English terms. They're concepts that can enhance how you think about and approach your daily life.
For our English learning listeners, remember that talking about routines is one of the most practical conversation skills you can develop. It helps you connect with people, share cultural differences, and discuss the universal human experience of daily life.
Whether you're describing your morning routine to a new colleague, explaining your evening wind-down process to a friend, or simply organizing your own thoughts about time management, these language skills serve you in countless real-world situations.
So here's our challenge for you. This week, try implementing just one new routine element that we discussed today. Maybe it's drinking water first thing in the morning, taking mindful breaks in the afternoon, or creating screen-free time before bed.
Start small, be patient with yourself, and remember that building sustainable routines takes time. You don't need to transform everything overnight. Gentle, consistent changes create lasting results.
That's all for today's episode of the Fluent English Journey Podcast. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of daily routines and the language that brings them to life.
Keep building those healthy, meaningful habits, and remember, your routines are the foundation of your dreams. We'll see you next time, and until then, have a balanced and productive day ahead.
Take care of yourselves, everyone. Your progress in both English and life doesn't end here. Keep moving forward, one routine at a time.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out my other videos to keep improving your English. See you next time.